everybody. Welcome back to the Five Guys Pokemon League. I am Charlie, captain of the Toxboxers, and I am here with Robbie, captain of the House of Commons.
Hello.
The speaker of the house.
I was gonna say, I was thinking of a British way to say hello, but just hello.
Hello.
So
we should do an
this
episode
battle-
in British accents. Only British accents.
I feel like I would get a headache quickly
Yeah.
from both myself and who else is recording with us.
I would too. Anyway, sorry, what were you saying?
This battle, Jack and Jackson. Looking at these teams, this is gonna be a good one to watch.
Yeah, for sure. This is one of the biggest rivalries in the FPL probably. Jackson and Jack have played a lot of close battles in the past. There's been a lot of trash talk between the two teams, and this is always a matchup that we look forward to seeing every season. Because this is kind of for bragging rights for the next season. it's kind of almost like the rivalry that Cameron and I have going on, where every battle is just like who gets the bragging rights until the next season.
So one of the things I noticed too with these teams is you have what I like to call, for no reason at all, the Great Wall. So both these teams have two Pokemon at least, especially mainly physically bulky. So Jack is the most obvious with Mega Aggron and Alomomola, which, to be honest, as a typing work great. That's great synergy, because obviously Alomomola, if someone brings a fire type, it is a water type. So that helps, and also the fact that Aggron can sponge a lot of hits just in general, resists a bunch of stuff. And then on Jackson's team, Runerigus is pretty good, especially with Wandering Spirit. That could be interesting if it gets like Filter or something at one point and takes away
Yeah,
a Mega
absolutely.
Aggron filter.
It could make those earthquakes hit a lot harder from Runerigus.
For sure. And also Charjabug with Eviolite is what bulky, I think? I honestly don't know.
I think it's pretty good. I just know that it has like a shocking amount of electric type shocking. I just know that it has a shocking amount of physical attack. Like it's got like 80 something base physical attack, which is not what you would expect from.
I think that's more than Vicable.
Yeah, like a little battery bug, like that, and it gets access to stuff like webs too, which is very cool. A good value pick from Jackson. But yeah, you're right. This is a very bulky matchup, for especially from two teams that are pretty offensive. With like the Lele Zydog core on Jack's team, and then of course the Salamence, which is not here in this one, but the Entei and Scizor and Boltund out of Jackson's team. So yeah, we'll see who can kind of get through the other team's bulk first. But if we want to move on to Battle 2. This is a really lopsided matchup as far like points wise.
My God.
This is a very lopsided matchup. I think Jack has one Pokemon on his team that's worth more than, I want to say, 4 points. Like I think Orbeetle and I think Gardevoir is worth 7, I want to say, and everything else is 4 or lower.
This looks like all the lowest tier. What's it called? Tier.
Oh, F tier.
F tier. This looks like he drafted. Now, to be fair, these Pokemon are pretty good in F tier. I mean, Regirock.
Yeah. Well, Regirock and
Regirock's
Typhlosion are two of like the premier F tiers. Those get picked every single season.
100%.
Yeah, but Lapras is a new one. I think that's Lapras' first appearance. But Liepard's D minus.
That's a British Pokemon, kind of. It's Nessie, kind of.
I suppose. But Liepard is D minus. Orbeetle is D. So Gardevoir is kind of going to be the star of the show here. Meanwhile, on Jackson's team, he's got his Alolan Muck, he's got his Salamence, his Lycanroc, Primarina. I mean, even Sneasel is a pretty decent threat, as we saw.
Great.
Yeah, we saw that in his battle against RNGesus, that Sneasel was able to pick up a few KOs, and of course the classic Pyukamuku that we love here in the FPL. But yeah, we'll see if Jack is able to do anything with this lower point team against Jackson. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the battle. All right, we see. I think Jack really enjoys leading with this Tapu Lele.
Oh, that's a funny name. That's a really funny name on Georgia. But
yeah, as it actually takes the Psychic and is able to get the Sticky Web up.
It did all he needed it to do.
Wow.
It did all he needed to do. He didn't even need a sash.
Yeah, Tapu Lele is able to pick it up, but that's what Charger Bug is here for. And Runerigus lives it too! Now he goes...
Now, why'd he do that?
Well, I don't know. He went for an Earthquake rather than a Poltergeist, which would have probably one-shot the Lele. But he is able to get a little
I don't understand the turn. Wouldn't you just go into Skizzer to Bullet Punch?
Well, Psychic Terrain. You got to remember blocks priority moves.
Yeah, I would have not played well.
Well,
I don't remember.
That's why Psychic Terrain is so good, is that, I mean, if anything, a lot of people forget about it, but the Boltund comes in, tries to deal a little bit of damage to this Incineroar, but through the Intimidate, it's not going to do very much there. Now, the knockoff does reveal the Z move, as he's able to do that, but it still doesn't even do half to the Incineroar, and Incineroar might be able to just straight up 1-for-1 this Boltund, or at least do a decent amount before it goes down. And Sarena's going to come in, presumably just rapid spin and pick up this KO. Not really sure what the Thunderfang is there, but it paralyzes, so I suppose that's something at least. As he is able to remove the webs and take down the Boltund. But with a 2 Pokemon advantage, Jack's in a pretty advantageous position here, and he manages to outspeed the Lurantis and hits it for 90% with the triple axle. Wow.
Superpower's not saving him.
Yeah.
Jackson, I think, has to hope for a pair. He's
just hard switched there. I don't think Jackson was expecting a triple axle right there. I think he was maybe expecting a knockoff or a high jump kick maybe, but yeah, Sarena does a really good amount of damage there as Scizor just goes for a U-turn. I'm not really sure about that. I think he might have had
dancing.
Yeah, he might have had a setup opportunity there. But if he's not carrying superpower, he may just not have had anything for Aggron anyway. And if Lele comes in and blocks the and blocks the bullet punch, it may not be able to do anything to Lele either.
True.
Now Lele comes in with the Focus Blast, which leads me to believe it is probably Specs, if I were to guess, or Scarf maybe. But it misses the second Focus Blast, and Scizor is able to pick up the KO and switch out into Entei. And it's a special Entei, which
Why is he running it special? I guess it makes sense, considering that, yeah, he has 2 super physical walls.
Yeah, and it definitely does more damage into the Aggron with something like Fire Blast, or, I mean, even Overheat maybe, but I would do probably Fire Blast in that situation.
Jackson is playing not with fire, but with boiling water. He's having Skizzer take a scald. Okay, and it's Roost, too.
Yeah, but even then, I don't really know what this Scizor does against the Aggron, and he U-turns out into Entei to try to get a little momentum here, but Aggron is just going to start cursing, and we'll see if this Entei can one-shot here. It's Eruption Entei!
Yeah, so it can.
Wow, which leads me to believe it may actually be Scarfed instead of Specs or Life Orb or something.
Oh, that is a dead Entei.
But yeah,
can Scizor win?
I guess it's not Scarfed because the 1,000 Arrows from Hound is able to pick it up, and he clicks U-turn right away. You gotta wonder why he wasn't going for a Swords Dance there, but I think the main question here is going to be, can Scizor beat Alomomola at play? Because the main matchup to watch here is going to be, and I might actually just fast forward it a little bit. The main matchup to watch here is going to be, can a U-turn at +2 beat Alomomola? Because if he starts Swords Dancing but is burned obviously from the Scald, he can't really do anything. But with the way he's just U-turning here, he might not have Swords Dance on this Scizor set. In which case, you gotta wonder what he was doing with this set. But this one might go for a while, so I'm just gonna throw this battle into fast mode.
Put it on fast. I think this is gonna last for a while.
Now, if I remember correctly, Jackson may just resign at a certain point here.
He gives up.
Because, yeah, I don't know if I was in the call for this battle, but I do remember that there was a decision made that basically Scizor was just not going to beat Alomomola.
The fact it has leftovers alone means...
Yeah, and the Scizor is burned. It's going to just be passively taking damage over the roost, so it's going to have to roost every however many turns, but it looks like the Scizor was maybe carrying superpower. instead of Swords Dance.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to hit Mega Aggron, but if that is the case, Scizor is not going to be able to take this one home for the Pimps. I'm actually going to put it into hyper fast mode just to get through this, because it seems like this is going to be pretty it's going to be pretty long. Yeah, I don't remember how many turns this battle is, but oh, here we go. So he's just going to sack it right here, it looks like. And Alomomola is able to pick up the win for the Riptides. So Jack takes battle 1. Yep, the Great Wall you were talking about. So Jack takes battle 1, 1-0, and let's go ahead and move on to the next battle. So we're going to see a pretty standard lead here from Jack from the Riptides with the Orbeetle. Immediately frisks the Salamence, which is important intel, as it's just going to start setting up right away.
Immediate setup. This is going to be interesting. Immediate double setup.
This is the second Dragon Dance, and it's just going to U-turn, maybe out into Regirock or something.
Well, what if he goes into Liepard?
For an Encore. That's an interesting idea, yeah. The questionably named Lapras comes out and immediately starts with a Freeze Dry, and Salamence really can't stay in against that.
See, that's a good nickname.
Yeah, Un. I love that.
What does Pyukumuku do here? Can we see Pyukumuku against the Lapras name?
Well, yeah, Pyukumuku does what Pyukumuku does and sets up a Toxic on Liepard. But we'll see what this Liepard does here. Liepard can run. There's the Encore. Yeah, Liepard can run a variety of different sets. It can, run a Sweeper Copycat set. It can run, just Encore Thunder Wave. I like to use it on Team 2s as a rain setter. But Orbeetle is able to come in and set up a Light Screen, and we'll see if it's able to take a Moonblast, and it does. So it's going to be able to put up the Reflect as well before it goes down, which is huge for the Riptides here. I don't know if Jack really has much setup on this team at all, but just the fact that both of those screens are up is massive for him.
Wow, why are all of Jack's names really good this battle?
Jack does have some very good names this battle. Now here's Pyukumuku as it crits, but its innards out Pyukumuku and leaves it
on 1
HP.
What the? Well, I think I know what happens.
Yeah, now Lycanrock's going to be able to come in and potentially pick up an Accelerock kill, but Jack switches out into Regirock, which takes massive damage there from the.
Why'd he stay in?
I don't know. He must have just wanted to get rocks up, but he sacks Lycanrock in the process. So I don't really know what Sneasel's going to be doing here. I guess there's the tech from Brick Break, but it's still not going to do a ton to Regirock, and it's just going to go down to another Body Press. So.
Yo, is this the amount of more points Jackson had this battle?
Yeah,
Jackson's the teams alone.
Salamence alone is probably going to be more points than the majority of Jack's team combined. So, if not the entirety of Jack's team combined, I think Jack's team is I want to say maybe 15 to 20 points, but now Typhlosion's able to come in, probably hit up a Hidden Power. I would assume Hidden Power Grass, maybe Hidden Power Electric, and then the Liepard comes in right away, and if Jackson tries to Dragon Dance here, he's just going to get Encored.
He's about to get Encored. Or he's going to switch.
No, he
wait, what's Jack?
So Jack predicted a switch into Muck, and he reads it. And
okay, but Jack has more to lose if he doesn't on.
Yeah, but Lapras is able to tank a Dragon Claw and KOs the Salamence with a Freeze Dry. That must have been calced by Jack. There's no he must have had that calc in his prep and realized that Lapras beats a +2 Salamence. And while it does go down, I don't know what this Muck is going to do to Regirock, especially without any real recovery. And Gunk Shot does 13 and it poisons, but yeah, Regirock is gonna tank the knockoff and is gonna secure the second win for the Riptides.
Jack, he was really able to change that situation, where he he came in with a much lower team and pulled out a dub. Like,
Yeah.
he got a double dub. Is this the first?
Yeah,
double
that's
dub?
a double dub from Jack. It is the first double dub of the season. We'll see many more of those to come, but yeah.
You do not want to be on the receiving end of that.
No, being on the receiving end of a 2-0 is not a fun time in the FPL. But Jack is able to come in with a really impressive performance and pick up 2 wins. And I would assume that he's on top of his division now with a. I don't know if it's a comfortable lead. I know Jameson is still pretty high up there at this point. But yeah, Jack is able to pick up a very much needed 2-0 and had a really impressive performance this one. Jackson did have some cool prep with the inners out Pukamuku and whatnot, but yeah, great performance from Jack, and we'll see what they do next week. But thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next battle, and yeah, thank you for watching.